What is up, guys? Welcome back to Call Me Old Fashioned, where we talk everything bourbon, whiskey, and of course, old fashions. Tonight, we're going to be diving into a few different things. First off, we're going to go ahead and make, well, actually, not first. Second, we're going to make an old fashioned. Maybe. I forgot we didn't have ice until like just now. But to start off the night, we're going to go ahead and run through some of the Redwood Empire's lineup. It's been a while, right? I used to talk about Redwood Empire all the time, and then everybody kind of got sick of it, right? They were like, hey, you're doing too much. You're talking too much Redwood Empire, so I dialed it back. Right now that I dialed it back, it's time to bring her back. Right, so we're gonna dive into the first one, which is a Pipe Dream 101, and then maybe we go through all of them, or maybe we just go through a handful of them. Either way, you guys let me know which one you want to see next, and we'll kind of just take it, drink by drink. So, either though, welcome to stream. Happy Friday. Hopefully you're doing good, and hopefully you got a good cocktail or a drink, and you're ready to drink with me. So let's go ahead and pull up Redwood Empire's site real quick. How do I do that? There we go. So again, just kind of dive into the first one while everybody kind of joins in. This one's going to have a mash bill of 73% corn, 19% rye, 5% malted barley, and 3% wheat. This one's not the same mash bill as their regular Pipe Dream or even the Cask Strength Pipe Dream. This is the 101. It's got slight tweaks, but honestly, in my opinion, it's probably the best one. Maybe I shouldn't have started with the best one, but that's subjective. For the 101 proof, the $55 price point, it is kind of hard to beat that for the Redwood Empire lineup. There's some other great ones, but a little bit more money-wise. Buto in the chat says test. Sounds a bit low. Oh, hold on, boys. Let me check the sound. Check. I think it's just placement, boys. I think that's why. Let me scoot it on over. It's on my head today. Yeah, that's about as high as I can get it right now. That's on me. He says, just ran out of regular Pipe Dream. Well, the regular Pipe Dream's good. But I do think the 101's better. And if you're kind of into the bourbon whiskey scene, I think this one is one that you probably should pick up in general, just because, as long as you like Redwood Empire. Because this one has a lot more complexity, a little bit more proof. I think the Cask Strength, in my opinion, is probably just overpriced at this point, because it's not that much higher than this one, but it is like $40 more. Buto says, I'll go out and come back. Okay. I'll be here. Anyways, let me pull this back up. So we'll kind of dive in. I remember this one kind of having very similar tasting notes than what's on there. So there's no reason for me to kind of like hide them, but I'm just going to kind of see how it's changed. It's been open for a while. Granted, most of my Redwood Empire bottles have. So let's dive in. Cheers. Yeah, it's still fire. I did just drink this the other day, so it's not like it's like obscenely different to me. This is release 1. I'm curious if they release, or if they do a release 2 or a batch 2, will they tweak the mash bill again? That'd be fun. I feel like that would be a good way to kind of switch it up if they're going to keep the other Pipe Dreams in there. Because I just personally don't see anybody picking up the other two unless you're either new to bourbon, you just pick up the white label. I just don't see the Cask Strength really having a place anymore, unless you're just a diehard fan, So overall, this one is, it does say it's a blend of 5 to 15 year age, obviously the 101 proof. I got to figure out how to get the chat up. There you go. It definitely feels slightly more aged, but it doesn't feel like it's 15 years. There's got to be like a splash of 15 in there or something. Joker says, welcome everyone. Sorry I've been slacking, but how are you? Call me old fashioned. How's the fam? And how's your week going? Week's going good. Fam's going good. The kids acting crazy as always. And yeah, we're just vibing now. It's Friday, Might as well have a little sippy sip. Joker says, hey EH. Liz says, sounds fine on my end. I think I already read that. But yeah, so just kind of run through the rest of the night, what that kind of looks like. Just why everybody's popping in. So we're gonna go through a bunch of Redwood Empire bottles. Let me know what you want to see me drink next. As far as obviously you guys know what I have. Then I was thinking old fashioned, right? Get a little cocktail going, and then we're gonna do. I'm gonna close the fantasy football league. I still have 2 spots, but I'm gonna close it at 10 if nobody joins it in. And then I'm gonna do the draft order because I feel like that's a little fun. I wanna figure out where I'm picking. You know what I mean? And then we'll just kind of hang out, chit chat, shoot the shit. You know, kind of as always. But yeah, overall, Pipe Dream 101. I feel like I started wrong. I shouldn't have started with this one. This one is the best. Now, I will say, on a given day, the Rocket Top Rye could really put it for its money because it's one of my favorite ryes out there. I will probably say, price-wise, for proof-wise, for everything, the Jack Daniel's probably better. But I need to do that in a blind one day. Christian says, drop a like on the stream, y'all. Guys, yeah, absolutely. If you haven't already, drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 10,000. Got a while. It's a big goal, but we'll get there. But yeah, either way. I'm going to go ahead and not pour that. I was going to pour another one. My camera's way over here today. Damn, that's my limit. All right. All right. We're going to have to work around that. All right, let's dive into the next one. Let's pull over the Pipe Dream Cask Strength just because I was just kind of shitting on it. Right? Might as well. See, that's the other thing. I will say, Redwood Empire was in here last time when I was kind of like making fun of the labels. I still think my idea would have been better if they swapped the colors where it's instead of it predominantly white with red, flip it, make it so much better. Bald Spot in the chat says, who do you think is goated King Von or Ozzy? I mean, you got to be Ozzy, right? Let's pull over to the website again. Scroll back up and we'll pick the Cask Strength Pipe Dream. See what I mean? Like, here's the... Oh, you can't even see what I'm looking at. Let me flip back. There we go. You see, like... If they just flip this, right, the red and the white, made it predominantly red with the white wording and design, I feel like that would just pop better. And it would have all the colors. I would probably pick them up just to have. I think that would look really sick on the shelf for like aesthetic-wise, but also it wouldn't be bad to have them. It's just a little pricey. So again, mash bill on this one's going to be 73% corn, 18% rye, 5% malted barley, and 4% wheat. So slightly more rye. And obviously this one is 116.8 proof. So you kind of know what you get. This one is also a blend of 4-year to 14-year-old bourbon. On the website it says 115.8. Mine says 116.8. So I don't know if I got the hookup on the extra proof or whatever, but let's we're gonna go through a bunch. Let's just keep the same Glen. It's okay. We'll survive. But Buto says, sorry guys, can't hear well. Don't know what's wrong. Enjoy. Buto, well, I appreciate you stopping by regardless. Not sure why you can't hear well. But we'll send over some ear cleaning stuff and then you'll be back eventually. So this one says it has a deep golden hue. Notes of toffee, cherry, and soft leather. I don't remember ever getting leather on that. I don't remember if I ever looked up the Pipe Dream Cask Strength tasting notes. Palate says cherry cola, honey, and butterscotch pecans. I mean, sounds good. Sounds good. But yeah, so who knows? Let's dive in. Joker says sound check, clear on my end, and clean on my end. Joker says Ozzy has never not been goated. King of Rock. North Florida in the chat says cheers, happy Friday. Cheers. Guys, if you're new or if you're over there on Rumble, because I am streaming on Rumble as a dual stream, you know, we're dual streaming tonight, you know what I mean? So if you're on Rumble, drop a what's up in the chat. We chat with everybody, we hang out, have a good time. So let us know where you're watching from. Obviously, I can see everybody from YouTube. So It's just if you're on Rumble, I don't know if you're over there. North Florida, you going to that bourbon drop? Sometimes I shouldn't look up the tasting notes first, you know, because I feel like this is all cola, like wild cherry Pepsi. You know what I mean? Like that's the vibe that you get on the nose there and the palate. Now this one is a little bit older. Like I've had it a little bit longer than the Pipe Dream 101, but it doesn't have near as much of a giddy up as the other one. The other one has more spice, even though this has a higher rye um, context. But have I may have like I don't know that I mean fucking phenomenal pour still. Like it's still not bad. I just think for 80, 85 bucks, I'd much rather have the other one. But this is good too if you already have it. Like don't be mad that you have this bottle. It's just if I was gonna go buy one, I would probably stick to the 101 or something else. Because 80 bucks is a lot of money for a bottle. Let's pull that back up real quick. I want to check out what that was. Yeah, toffee, cherry, soft leather. I don't get leather. The honey and cola, absolutely. Butterscotch, I could get confused for caramel all day. And I mean, if I would have said like any kind of like nut version, it probably would have been like cashews, but I guess you can call it pecan. I thought it just said cola, but cherry cola, yeah. So wild cherry Pepsi. He says, I already have the bottle, picked it up earlier, not going to camp out for the allocated this time. Nothing I have to have on this list, really. You know what sucks is I checked out the list, and they have the Old Fit 7, they have the Era 12s, they have another Woodford, or not Woodford's, 13th Colony Double Oak. You know, they got some things I want, but I was in the Discord earlier. I can't remember who I was messaging with, but they said that somebody was camped out for like 72 hours or something crazy, or 47 hours. If somebody's watching from the drop and that person's there, somebody needs to get him. I want him to call into the show, and we got to ask him what he's doing because that's a long time to wait. And I'd get it if it was like to get like a Pappy 23 for MSRP or George C. Stagg or Igor 17. Like I could understand doing it once, but apparently this guy does it all the time. Crazy. Like I went at 3 a.m. one time and I thought that was early. You know, I went and I camped out. I did my thing. Bro, and I barely made it home. Could you imagine doing that like an extra 24 hours? Like I wouldn't make it, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. We gotta have him. We gotta have that guy on the show one time just to pick his brain of what he's doing. Because like to me goes, you don't do that to resell one bottle. You know what I mean? So he's just gotta really love it. Joker says already in August, going by so fast. New Year is coming up sooner than later. Whoever is new to the channel, what is the channel about? What's the plans for the future? Raffles, shorts, live. I'm so confused on the comment, but I have a feeling I know where you're going with. He goes, it is already August, bro. I can't even, like, I looked up earlier and go, how'd we get here? New Year's is coming up. New Year's is coming up. We do a big live stream every New Year's Eve. That's just been like the go-to. That was the first live stream. It's the anniversary, so I like to go over my entire collection. I like to do awards, right, for best bottle, worst bottle. We'll do a lot more this year. It's because now I have a couple thoughts in mind for it. We'll do some giveaways and stuff for sure on New Year's. What's the channel about? And what's the plan for the future? The channel's about bourbon whiskey and having fun, getting a little drink. I like to review whiskey. I also like to really just have an excuse to drink, but whatever. No, we do some reviews every once in a while. We do bourbon drops and some bourbon hunt stuff, but all right, we're slowly gearing back up. And as you guys can tell, we dropped probably a new video every day this week, except for yesterday. And I already have it scheduled out for next week. So the content is coming. So it's just going to get better. We're cruising for a good year. But Yeah, when we hit 10,000, we're going to do something nuts. We're not even close, so I'm not even going to talk about it because that may not happen until next year anyway. But it's going to happen. Um, Raph says, "Guess who's back? Back? I damn it, bro! I need to just download the video or the sound, and then I can play it when you come in. Next week, guaranteed. Next week, guaranteed, it will be here. But anyways, so yeah, that's kind of like the quick rundown. Yeah, I plan to do. I go live every Friday. Typically, right now it's about 9:45 to 10 p.m. Just just hit or miss. Just depends on what the day feels like. But it should be never a long form video every Monday moving forward, and then shorts during the week. And I'm still looking at the analytics to figure out if I should post another long form video during the week as well. So maybe two, but at least one, and then shorts all the rest, and live streams on Fridays. Joker said, "Great alley oop. I only have certain letters to text. Sunny rather. Sunny rather. Fucking Christ, bro. I feel like Joker messes with me because he knows I'm like dyslexic, so he's just like, let me just see how far I can push it." Anyway, boys, let me know which one we should crack open next from the Redwood Empire lineup. I'm going to go through a few of them. I've already done Pipe Dream 101 and now the Cask Strength. So we got the most of the small lot series besides the Foggy Bureau. It's single malt. I'm okay with skipping that one. I do have the Van Dusen, Screaming Titan, Devil's Tower, Rock Top Rye, Grizzly Beast, Cask Strength, Lost Monarch, and all the white labels. So let's do this. Stick on trend with the Cask Strength stuff. Let's move over to the Lost Monarch for now. Cask Strength. This one's one of my newest ones to the lineup, I guess, and it's still damn near full. So this one should have like little effect from oxidation or anything like that. So I'll be curious to see how my palate's adjusted to it. I knew you'd say that, North Florida. Nate, bro, I gotta get these boxes out of here. He says, haystack needle. No, I don't have those. I went over a couple times why I don't have those. I got the email before everybody else supposed to buy it, like pre-order it type of thing. I didn't pull the trigger and it sold out within minutes. So that's on me. I'm gonna take that hit. I'm not paying secondary to get them, but I hear they're fantastic. Jerry in the chat says, "Hey, y'all, just dropping by to say, hey, been doing karaoke and drinking Elmer T. Lee. About to call it a night." Jerry, the night's still young. It's only 10. But hell yeah. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Ooh. You can't leave on a cork pop like that, Jerry. Can't leave on a cork pop like that. No, I get it. If you're tired, you're tired, bud. I mean, you can call and do karaoke. That'd be fun. We'll pick a song. Pink Pony Girl. Is that the name of the song? Well, Jerry, if you're leaving, we appreciate you stopping by. Have a good rest of your night, bud. Joker says, my bad, my guy. I'm not trying to get you. I'm at the gym so far fingering the text. That takes dedication. I appreciate it. I need you to do 10 more reps for that, though. Or an extra half a mile if you're on the treadmill. North Florida says, think I'll do 4 roses and a cigar. That sounds fantastic. He says, let's go. Happy Friday. If you're new to the stream, smash the like and subscribe. Raph says, I've always wanted to try the Lost Monarch Cask Strength, just never bite. Just never did it. So Lost Monarch was the first, the white label, obviously, the first Redwood Empire I got. And I was like, holy shit, this is fantastic. And I knew it was a blend of whiskey. I knew it wasn't bourbon, but it was a blend of the rye and the bourbon. And I was like, this is changing everything. Because I never thought California was going to come out with something good. You know what I mean? That was just my impressions at the time. At that point in my journey, it was Kentucky or die. You know what I mean? I didn't even break into Still Austin yet. So, but when it came to it, I was like, this is fantastic. I love the lower proof of it. It just was something about it made it really approachable, super easy to drink, but still had a little bit of complexity. The cask strength was the last one I picked up because I just like the other ones more, right? I just figured out I really liked Redwood Empire. But let's dive into this one. Let me pull up the fun facts for the Lost Monarch. If you can see it, I know it's hard to see on this format, but it's what we're going with. Mash bill of this one's going to be 55% rye and 45% bourbon. This is a blend of straight whiskeys. If you don't know, it's basically their Emerald Giant and their Pipe Dream. You just blend her up. It's a 3 to 14 year age. That's a massive gap. You know what I mean? It's definitely going to be closer to the 3 rather than the 14. But this one is a cask strength at 116.2 proof. Let's dive into the nose. I'm not like trying to be picky or anything like that, but I can see the tasting notes. I'm not going based off of that, but I don't remember, before I even dive in, I don't remember mint chocolate ice cream. Earthy mint chocolate ice cream. What a combo. You know what I mean? Warm spices, dry apricot, white pepper finish. Okay, I remember having a little pepper. I remember being fruit. I don't get chocolate, but I can see where they're going with the mint and the earth. But we'll see. We'll dive in. Cheers. I mean, it's still a good pour. I'm critical on some of this stuff nowadays because people think I hype it up too much, but it is a solid pour. It doesn't pack as much like flavor really up front as the bourbon does, the Pipe Dream cask strength, but it's a lot more approachable, even though it's still a higher proof. It's got like almost like a candy covered strawberry crushed together and put into a honey vibe. I had a little bit of burn on the bottom lip there for some reason. That was weird. And the pepper, I'd say the pepper's there on the back end. So that's pretty spot on. The mint chocolate chip though, I don't know where they got that. Raf says, oh wait, I already read that. My bad. But overall, again, good. I think I'm drinking them in order of like what I may like them as. Like number 1 was the Pipe Dream 101 on my cask strength was solid. I'd still put this behind the cask strength. It's good. But I do think like, again, unless you're just really wanting something slightly different on the shelf, pulling the trigger on an $80 Lost Monarch, it's kind of tough because Pipe Dream 101's better. If you're going to spend the $80, a Pipe Dream cask strength is better. So it just really comes down to like, do you have extra money and how big of a Redwood Empire fan are you? Because personally, over the cask strength, I'd much rather have the bottle and bonds. They're different. They're unique. They cost the same. The only downside is it's minimum 4-year age, but only 100 proof. So the questions. So where are we at? About 25 minutes in. 3 in. Let's go ahead and do one more. Well, we're gonna do at least 2 more, maybe 3 more, maybe 5 more. Kidding. Maybe. Have I tried Cabin Strength by Central Standard? No. But I love it when they call it something strength, like what the fuck is it called? Frey Ranch, how they call it farm strength. Absolutely love being able to say that. So somebody being able to say cabin strength, I'll pick it up. I don't even care if it's good or not. So I mean, have you had it? Is it good? Like, is it even worth looking into? What the hell does cabin strength even mean? What kind of strength is this cabin? Is it made with like cinder blocks or is it made with like paper mache? These are the questions I would have. Shout out Flat Earthers. Earth is flat, y'all. Get her done says. You know? Sorry, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one. I don't believe the Earth is flat. But if you can prove me wrong and like take me on like a fancy trip to show me the edge of the Earth, like I'm down, you know? They're out of Milwaukee. Amazing pour, Rap says, for the cabin strength. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Okay. I'm doing this. I have a video coming out maybe in 2 weeks. Not this next week, but the following, of going over the best whiskey or bourbon in all 50 states. So that's on the way. So you got to stay tuned to figure out which state you live in and what I choose for that state. But maybe I figure out how to get that cabin strength over here for that battle. Yeah, Lost Monarchs cask strength is good. It's just not. I mean, it's always easy to figure out like what do I personally drink the most off stream, and you can see that this bottle. I mean, I really haven't touched it. Not that it's bad or anything like that. Don't let me like shit on it. Like it's good. It's good whiskey. It's solid, but it's just not like enticing enough for me to go back to it when I have all of the other stuff. It's just one of those things where like it's gonna sit there for a while. It will get drank eventually, especially the more I keep, like the higher I keep it. If I start drinking it, like I gotta drink it fast too. So that's part of it, right? So let's do let's do Grizzly Beast, right? This was my number one for a while. I love the Grizzly Beast. Part of it's the art, right? I'm a big fan of the art on bottles. When they put in effort and it looks good, it just tells me they thought it all the way through. Not just for, like just the inside, like is it good? You got to be able to sell the bottle too, right? I like all aspects of the whiskey game in general. Selling it's part of the battle, right? You got to get it into people's hands and figure out if they even like it or not. Me, this has always been one of those bottles that on my shelf that people go, "Ooh, what's that?" I go, "That's that Grizzly Beast." This one is batch 3. Just so you guys know, mash bill on this is going to be 68% corn, 18% rye, 9% wheat, and 5% malted barley. This is going to be a 5-year age. Excuse me. 5-year age and 100 proof. So let me pull over that because I realized I didn't do that earlier. It does say, fun fact, our 4-grain mash bill on batch 4 lands closer to our original recipes of batch 1. You will notice an increase in the wheat over each batch. We're now up to 9%. This release will showcase both a ton of finesse and depth. That also means that batch 4 should have 10% wheat, which almost is going to make it qualify for a wheated bourbon. I'm just saying. Just want to throw that out there. This one also has like the picture of the bottle, right? It does say it's 95 points on the tasting panel, 93 points on Sunset International Spirits Competition, gold medal in TAG Global Spirits Award, top 100 American whiskeys for 2022 from Fred Minnick. And if you buy this one, you get a free big truck hat with every bottle purchased. I guess this is a big truck hat. It's cool. I get it. I'm here for it. Like if I was already buying it, I'd be pretty stoked I'd be getting a free hat. But let's see. Let me check back in with the chat real quick. No Florida says, oh wait. Raph says, if you want a sample, let me know, and if you like it, I can send you a full bottle. Oh, shit, Raph, now you're talking my language. We'll check. Are you in the Discord, Raph, or no? Just out of curiosity. North Florida says, so far, killed Pipe Dream 101, Lost Monarch, Emerald Giant, liked them all. We'll pick up the Pipe Dream and Lost Monarch again. Eventually, we'll grab the cask strength. I think for a whiskey bar, especially if you're a fan of Redwood Empire, buying the white labels, they're cheap. You can get them for like $30. And they're solid pours. They're good mixers. My brother loves the Pipe Dream because he also makes mixed drinks. So he likes it in the mixed drink form. He'll drink it neat too, don't get me wrong. But so that's where he's like, hey, I'm a fan of this. I'm not as big of a fan as the Emerald Giant. We're going to revisit that one tonight for sure. I like it. It's good. It's just not what I want a little bit more. I don't, you know what I mean? It was good stepping stone to get me into rye, and I'll give it its flowers. It got me back, but now I'm here, and I want a little, you know what I mean? So North Florida said about the flat Earth thing says flat or round, the whiskey is brown. There you go. Um, Joker says winner winner chicken dinner. Miss Mabel in the chat. Welcome back. It's been a minute. It says I poured pipe dream cask strength earlier. Followed it with the Old Forester single barrel proof store pick. I still need one of those. I still need the blue label. I have the green. I have the rye. But the blue label is kind of like been ghost around here lately. Raph says, didn't even know you had a Discord. I think North Florida or Joker, I don't know if Joker's in there either. North Florida, if you have it, drop the link to the Discord. Let's get Raph in there. We don't, it's not nothing crazy, but I like to talk smack, have some fun in there. But that way you can just message me. Christian says, have you had anything from Iron Root? The Total Wine by my job has some. Wondering if I should pick some up. I have not had anything from Iron Root. If anybody's had Iron Root, drop it in the chat for Christian. Let him know if he should pick it up or not. It's not been on my radar. I haven't had anybody recommend it to me, so you would be the first, sir, that told me about it. But I also have the preference with I don't think I've left my house in a hot minute. You know what I mean? Like I've been dialed into the crib. I've been trying to save some money, not spend it all on the whiskey. I've been also trying to drink some more of my collection before I just keep buying. So not this stream, but probably next stream, we'll be finishing off like a lot. Because I got a bunch that's right on the edge that need to they need to have their send off, So bottle kill next Friday is gonna be a massacre. Just gonna throw that out there. So if you want to see which bottles I finish off, next week is the stream. Raph, North Florida dropped the Discord link. Miss Mabel said, good stuff. Caramel Florida, proofy, some appley notes. There we go. So yeah, again, this is the Grizzly Beast that we're breaking into again, just for funsies. Running back through some of the lineup. We did the Pipe Dream 101, Cask Strength, and Lost Monarch Cask Strength. Now we're on Grizzly Beast. I think it's only right that we do. Okay, I'm gonna do this strategically. If anybody wants me to drink the Devil's Tower or the Screaming Titan, speak now or ever hold your peace. If not, we're going Emerald Giant and then Rocket Top. If I'm going to switch to the Rise, we're going to go low proof to high proof. Joker, you in the Discord? What's up, bud? Yeah, this is exactly how I remember it. My bottle's low. It's got a little bit of oxidation on it. I will say that because I've had it a while. All right, I've had it a while. Chris Webb in the chat says, if you want something a little bit more, do the Devil's Tower by Redwood Empire. I'm drinking all the Redwood Empire tonight, Chris. So let's do I think that would be a good transition into the Rise because that's one of the high-rye bourbons. So we could do Devil's Tower, Emerald Giant, then Rocket Top. Devil's Tower is fantastic. I don't remember the notes off the top of my head, but I remember them being the fuck. I remember them being like fantastic. Let's dive in. And what kind of reminds me of Pipe Dream a little bit. It's like a little softer. It still has like the wild cherry Pepsi vibe that I was going with, along with a little bit of like vanilla almost. Sorry, like my brain itched there for a second. The only thing I could say about this one, because of having that getting a little oxidized in there, is everything feels more mellower, right? Where originally this thing had some spice to it, but now it just kind of feels calmer. And there's nothing wrong with that. Miss Mabel says Devil's Tower is Redwood. Yeah, of course. Let's switch back. Let me pull that down. Devil's Tower, high-rye bourbon. The Grizzly Beast is fantastic. Everybody knows I like that one. The Devil's Tower is somewhat newer. Not really, but I've had it. It kind of like came towards the end of my what would you call it? Redwood Empire journey. Let's dive into all the fun facts here. Let me make this bigger. There we go. So, this is obviously their high-rye bourbon. This is batch 2 that I have. Mash bill on this is going to be 2.5% malt, 44% rye, 51% corn, and 2.5% wheat. This is 99 proof for their batch 2. This is toasted and charred number 3. Class is a straight bourbon whiskey, but it is a high rye, is what most people are calling it, because that's what everything on here says. But let me switch Glenn's. Let's dive in. My phone was trying to access my camera for the stream. Don't understand why. Scott in the chat says, cheers, call me old fashioned. Scott, welcome to stream. Happy Friday. Let's dive into this one. That was a little heavier than I normally do. Let me get a little water in here. A little cleanse the palate as we move into our ryes. So the small lot series, typically it's a little bit more, I'm not going to say allocated, because a lot of people aren't hunting Redwood Empires anymore. But this one's only a 53 barrel lot size. Again, they're out there. They're not as easy to get for sure. But I think nowadays it's getting easier. So it's sometimes whiskey reminds me of being in a time machine, right? And I'm gonna elaborate on that. You drink a whiskey for the first time and you do something fun, like me if I'm live streaming, I'm talking about whiskey and somebody says something, right? Or maybe you're hanging out with family and friends, especially when you go in for a little nose test, right? And you get that smell of nostalgia, or what is happening here? Why does my camera keep trying to access the stream? Don't know what's happening there, but it sometimes it just kind of warps you back, and that first nose just kind of reminded me of everything. I'm like, here we go. Let's see. Duty in the chat says, can you put the cup in the middle of the screen so we can see the liquor? Yeah, my bad. So my camera thing's all kind of messed up right now. I'm running on a short cord, but normally it's already like that. So it's way off to the side this time. I don't have any fancy music for you, but yeah. I mean, it's not super dark, I will say, right? It's got some nice color to it, but it's typically about a little lighter than I would expect. Duty says, oh, okay. Yeah, I know. My camera's normally a little more angled, but you guys can see, I'm literally using my phone charger cord. Shout out to the wife, breaking my cord before stream. Chris says, have you ever had the haystack needle? Bro, if somebody else asks me this, I don't want to pay secondary for it, but if everybody keeps asking, I may have to go get one. Says, have you ever had haystack needle? If so, could you give me your opinion on it? Please, thank you. No, I did not buy it. Or either rye or bourbon. I should have. Kicking myself in the ass each time. But everybody tells me it's fantastic. It is definitely one of those ones where if I can find it exactly at MSRP, I will buy it. One or both. I prefer the bourbon, but I may get the rye as well. It's just a matter of time. So I'll have them eventually. I just don't have them now. I have everything else. Almost everything else. So Ms. Mabel says, I picked up some local Washington State bourbon distilled in Washington. All grain from Washington. Gotta say, not good. Reminds me of Scotch, but worse. A Shore Distillery. Try their not bourbon. Bro, in my head, I was in shambles trying not to ruin my delivery on that. North Florida says, go get in line at the Bourbon Barn. There's a haystack on the allocation list. I know, but I feel like nobody's buying that. So it keeps staying there. So I bet you if I went afterwards, it would be available. Yeah, Chris says, I get it. It's the only Redwood Empire I haven't had. I know, like, I literally just, at the same time, I just bought almost all of these. They sent me this email going, hey, do you want first dibs on the haystack needles? And I go, I don't really want to spend another, like, 150 each. I think it was, like, 150 a bottle or something like that. And I go, I don't want to spend $300 right now. I just spent a lot of money on the entire lineup. Let's not. I go, nobody's going to buy it. Because nobody was talking about Redwood Empire. No joke. They sent me an email like 30 minutes later being like, it's sold out. And I go, oh, fuck. I should have got those. North Florida says also, Good Pour is doing a haystack needle store pick this year. So keep your eyes open. Okay, that intrigues me more, that I would love to have a store pick of that. That means somebody put a little love into that pick. So let's go back to the Devil's Tower real quick so we can just make sure we keep it moving a little bit for me so I don't get too far off track. Bro, it's every time I click this screen, something's happening here. My phone's going crazy, asking me to connect to the stream. What the fuck? Oh. You saw that. I don't know what that was. But anyways, let's dive into the pour. It's like real mint, earthy kind of vibes, citrus. It's different, right? Like the other stuff kind of like is like punchy, tries to go more towards like the heavier route on like the flavors. This one's like light, citrus, mint, earth. It kind of gives you like the best of a rye with also like a little bit of that sweetness that you typically get from a bourbon with like vanilla and caramel type vibes. I'm not saying I get those, but that's the sweetness level I usually get. So I like this one a lot. What's surprising enough, when I bought this one, I bought the Screaming Titan at the same time. I bought it online. And what was funny is I literally thought the Screaming Titan was going to be the number one. Bro, it literally keeps trying to connect. I got to disconnect my phone or something. So I tried it side by side, and I chose the Devil's Tower over the Screaming Titan. It just was, it was unique. It was different. So that's the one I went with. So yeah, I still kind of stand by that nowadays. Like the Screaming Titan's good, but this one is phenomenal. So again, like the Lot series is just the same price as the Cask Strength and the Bottled and Bond. This is one where I feel like, hey, I'm okay with, like, I'm not okay with the price. It's still pricey. Don't get me wrong. But I can understand why this one costs more than the other ones. You know, the only thing I wish is I wish I had like an extra 10 points of proof. That would be next level in it. Oh no, I missed it. Chris Webb, just subscribed. Welcome to the family. I almost missed it too because I had the other thing up. North Florida says, oh, I read that. Christian says, Redwood Empire does a great job with their branding. I like, I like a lot of their stuff, right? I like the art. It draws me in. I like the name. It's catchy. I like how they do things. I think the pricing structure is the only thing I've ever had a problem with because their stuff's good, but it's hard to justify to spend $80 on a bottle in general. And originally, they had these $35 entry point bottles. Great. But a lot of people didn't like them because they're lacking in proof and people want more. But to go from 30 to 80 is just a big jump for a lot of people. That's why I love the Pipe Dream 101 so much because it is that segue into their more expensive stuff. I think they need another entryway, another like kind of segue into that stuff. If they could do like I don't know, like an Emerald Giant 101. I'm not saying Emerald Giant, maybe like Rocket Top 101. Nah, that's already 100 proof. I don't know. Emerald Giant 101 is the only thing that logically makes sense, but you get where I'm going with it. Something like that, like another rye version that could entry them into that version, you know. Um, so now we're gonna touch the first white label. See, part of my issue too is I love the look of these white labels. They're fantastic. I love the designs. But again, we're not here to talk about the labels too much, but I like it. It's part of the fun, you know, for me. Let's pull up the fun facts of the Emerald Giant. Now, Emerald Giant's not bad, right? So don't let me start trying to like talk smack about it. But it is not as good as the other ones comparatively. Like it definitely feels like the redheaded stepchild. You know what I mean? So I'm going to slide this one to the side so that I can go into my infinity power. Slide a new Glen for Rise, and let's get this party started. I need a... That Devil's Tower has a fantastic finish, by the way. Guys, if you're just tuning in, or if you're new to the stream and you want into the Fantasy Football League, we do... This is second annual. Winner's going to get a championship ring and a year subscription to Blind Barrels. There's 2 spots open. Nobody's grabbed them. I'm closing it down in like an hour. And then we're going to do the draft order. So if you want in, jump in. I'll drop it into the chat just for fun because I can't remember where else it's at right now. Send it. There we go. We'll do a duck race to figure out the draft order, by the way. We're going to do that a little bit later in the stream. But if you're new, doesn't matter, jump in. If you know fantasy football or not, don't worry, jump in. It's not like anybody else is that good besides me. I didn't win last year either. The wife won, so. But let's dive into this pour here. Mark Duffy says, ew, get that nasty shit off the bar. Bro, you know what? I knew you were going to come by. I knew you were going to figure out a way into this stream. I didn't even put the title as Redwood Empire, and I knew you were going to come. This is the first time I've touched Redwood Empire in months. But I'm glad you made it for this, because it just makes me know that I live rent-free in your head with the Redwood Empire stuff and the fantasy football spanking you got last year. Duffy's in the league. He knows firsthand about the spankings. You know what I mean? And I like to talk smack, too. So, just throwing that out there. If you lose to me, like, it's just, sometimes I'm going to let you have it. And I'm not that good. I just find it fun. It's something to do while I'm watching football because I'm doing it anyway. So, but, again, Duffy says, Wild Turkey 101 and LaFleur Dominic, I can't pronounce that. Airbender? I don't even know what that is, bud. But just to reiterate, because I know Duffy, I don't know if he heard or not, winner for the championship league is going to get a Fancy Dancy championship ring this year. Nothing like custom or nothing like that, but it matters. You know what I mean? When a championship ring's online, it matters. That and a year subscription to Blind Barrels. If they don't ship to your area, I'll give you the cash equivalent or a gift card or whatever. So we'll figure it out. But anyways, let's dive into the Emerald Giant real quick. Again, wasn't my favorite before, but is it now? This one is going to be a 92 rye, or mash bill is going to be 92% rye, 5% malted barley, and 3% wheat. A blend of 4 to 7 year age. And this one is going to be the, I can't remember the proof. I believe it's 90 proof, but I can't find it. Where the fuck is the proof? It's an unknown proof? You're not allowed to know? Why is it not on here? There's no proof on here. Oh, 45% alcohol. 90 proof. Okay. We got it. Duffy says, rigged. I mean, I get it. I get it. When you can't win, you call it rigged. Hopefully you do better this year. You know what I mean? Because I'd much rather a battle than a whooping. Ms. Mabel says, I poured another pipe dream cast and I haven't had three pours. I haven't had three pours in a month. Just like 2 old fashions and some Coronas. You know what? I was literally thinking about doing like a beer stream. I know a lot of people here aren't like really big into beer, and neither am I, but I feel like kind of fun to do. So if you guys like beer, tell me yes, but then also tell me your favorite beer, and maybe we like try to do some beer content for fun. I really want a Guinness. I don't know why. I just I'm really feeling a Guinness right now. Miss Mabel, I'm glad you're hanging out for the. I don't know if I was a fan of that pour. Um, I'm glad you're hanging out this string. Duffy says, got me a handle of Wild Turkey 101 for $30 in Naples at Walgreens, and the bottle is like 60 in North Carolina. Wild Turkey 101 is cheap down here. Um, I'm kind of thrown off with this pour. I'm just gonna. He says yes. Favorite beer, cold. That's true. If the beer is not ice cold, like freezing, like you really shouldn't drink it. Like I remember, like Coors was like the big thing when I was growing up. When I turned 21, whatever. That's what we drank, and then we wouldn't drink it unless the mountains were blue. We were like, can't have silver mountains. Um, yeah, this pour, I will say, like it's good. It's light. It's approachable, but there's not a lot going on with it. It's got a little sweetness. Got a lot of cinnamon, but it's got like it doesn't have like what you would expect from a rye. It doesn't have a lot of like that earthy punch. It has a little pepper, and that could be like the cinnamon just trickling over on me. But it's like a um, really sweet and light rye. That's why this bottle was one of the ones that did help me kind of get um, into the ryes. It helped me get me back because I hated ryes for a long time, and it kind of helped stepping stone me back in. So I'll give it its flowers. It helped with that, and I appreciate that part. But overall, again, unless you're just a really big Redwood Empire fan or just really love exploring ryes, I'm okay with passing on the Emerald Giant. Miss Mabel says, I F with hard beer. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. Okay. I mean, I'm not doing IPAs. I'll be fucking slaughtered in here. Rap says, Guinness is the stout of the gods. I mean, maybe that's why I want it. Miss Mabel says barrel finished stouts. I did. I did the Banana Fosters from the Goose Island one time. That was a fun stream. It was sweet as all could be though. So for something like that, and they're like expensive. They're a bottle of whiskey expensive, and that's a one and done type of thing. I would definitely need to have someone over to help with that kind of stuff because I don't want to waste that kind of money. But it was good. Duffy says, I remember Coors before the Blue Mountains from my underage drinking days. I don't remember drinking underage, but I remember those cans. Ms. Mabel says, or hazy IPAs. They do crazy stuff with sour ales. Yeah, when I go to like North Carolina, my brother's all into the IPA stuff, and he'll fucking load me up. We call them piss beers because they look like you have like you're just really dehydrated and you took a piss. That's how dark a lot of those are. Like they're intense. Um, I'm sure he's not watching, but when I went and visited him one time, he's drinking like 10, 12% beers, just slamming them. And I'm like, careful. Duffy says, Guinness is the goat of stouts. I love good German Pilsner okay. I mean, I'm not really into beers like that, but I mean, I wanna kind of just dabble into them a little bit, kind of have some fun, you know. AB says, love making Irish car bombs with Guinness. Yeah, that's a good, that's a good staple for the St. Patrick's Day. So, All right, we got one more of the Redwood Empire before we move on from the Redwood Empire stuff, and that's going to be one of my favorites. Hopefully still is because the bottle's kind of low. This is one of those bottles that I probably should have finished a long time ago. But that's going to be the Rocket Top Bottled and Bond from Redwood Empire. This is going to be, let me pull up the fun facts real quick. I'll give you the mash bill and all that stuff. Mash bill on this is going to be 89% rye, 5% wheat, and 6% malted barley. It's a 5-year age. Obviously 100 proof. Their fun fact for this bottle is going to be our 3-grain mash bill on the batch 4 lands closer to the original recipes of batch 1. Of the 5% wheat in the mash bill, this mash bill includes some malted wheat in the recipe. This will showcase a ton of finesse and depth. Okay, I get it. I don't see it in the mash bill though. It says malted wheat. So where does it say that? I see malted barley. And I see the lot series being 68 barrels, bottling's June 2024, stuff like that. It's a 5-year age, but I just don't see anything of the malted rye or malted wheat. So it is what it is. Duffy says, I was in Chattanooga on Monday and had a chocolate moon pie stout. It's pretty good. It just sounds like a fat kid's great day, JC says, finish it off. I mean, it's a little bit too much for me to finish off. Mark Duffy says, Raph, NFL Bears. Cheers, guys. Bears. JC, bro, you always have this thing where if I start drinking rye, you come in. Like, you got to have, like, some really good rye senses, Scott says, Rocket Top is the only one I haven't tried yet. Grizzly Beast is probably my top 3 for them. Love the Screaming Titan. I like Screaming Titan. Rocket Top's got to be top 2. Like, it's always up at the top. Not because it's on a rocket. It's just a fantastic fucking pour, Mark says, fat kid. Guilty. Miss Mabel says, I noticed what wheat brings a distinct sweetness. What does male wheat bring? What? I'm tripping, Miss Mabel. I don't know what you just said. Let's dive into this pour real quick for everybody that wants me to show the whiskey part on stream. This one is light too. Like, don't get me wrong. This isn't like super dark or anything. Like it's got an okay color, but you're talking like caramel, like light caramel color. On the nose, a lot of cinnamon vanilla almost. I mean, I don't have to say rye spice, do I? Like, you guys get it. It's a rye. There's rye spice in there. This bottle's got a little bit of oxidation on it comparatively. It's been sitting a while, but it's still just as good as I remember. It's got like really nice sweet like fruit notes in there, along with a little bit of mint, a lot of spice, like pepper and cinnamon combined, not just like that cinnamon vibe. A little bit of like almost like a little bit of tobacco as well, but like a spicy tobacco, which is nice. But it also kind of has like earthy undertones with a little bit of citrus orange. I feel like that's a lot of tasting notes, but that's just what I'm getting. So yeah, overall, that's one of my favorites. Now again, it's a little bit pricier. That's why Pipe Dream 101 will take the crown over all of these. But for me, it's going to go as of today and just running back through those. Pipe Dream 101 for price and flavor. Second's going to go Rocket Top Rye just because I fucking love that bottle. Third's going to be probably the Devil's Tower. And then, I mean, I don't really go farther than that because I didn't try this Screaming Titan again. But, I mean, out of what I drank, I would go Pipe Dream Cask Strength. But you never know. Chris says that bottle's getting low. They are. JC says, call me old fashioned. I'm gonna say my work quote. No time for amateurs. I get it. My bad. My bad. Miss Mabel says malted wheat. I meant. Scott says I get more grainy grass notes on malted wheat. Hmm. Norfolk says malted means grains as bro, I can't read all that. Incorporates different flavors from grain. Alex says, "What's up, champ? What's up, Alex? We're talking fantasy football tonight. I know you kind of like jacked up the league last year, or I'd let you in, bud. I'd let you come get a whooping again. Your team did fantastic last year, by the way. Fantastic auto draft. But I think you kind of lost your spot, you know. So we have 2 spots open, guys. 2 spots left in the fantasy league. Oh my God, this guy says, please suggest the best neat whiskey. Oh, you got to give me more context than that. You got to. What kind of whiskey do you want, or what? You know what I mean? Like, I could be here for days on that question. My favorite right now is probably the Still Austin Tanager, Russell's 15, Jack 10, 13th Colony Double Oak, Woodford's Double Oak, Woodford's Batch Proof. I like the Penelope Creme Brulee. Everything I like neat. I couldn't answer that question if I tried, you know? Scott says, new Star Hill Farm has malted soft red winter wheat in the mash bill and it's a fantastic bottle. There's another one that I've had. Who has winter? Oh, Frey Ranch has the winter wheat in it, and that's fantastic too. So I can only imagine Star Hill Farm is probably incredible. Miss Mabel says, best neat whiskey? Impossible. Try Four Roses Small Batch Select. Yeah, that's a good pour too. Eagle Rare for 50 is pretty good. Yeah. Eagle Rare is fantastic. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it is good. Really good. All right. So let me move into the next portion. What do you guys think we should make an old fashioned with? If you guys know what I have, you know what sounds fantastic? Four Roses, single barrel, old fashioned. Just want to throw that out there. But if you guys sound off in the comments what you want me to make an old fashioned with, we can choose from your guys' picks. Chris says Holiday has soft red wheat in it too. Yeah, just not the winter wheat. But yeah, soft red wheat. Guys, if you're just now tuning in, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Trav just joined the chat. Trav, welcome to the stream. 1792. Oh my God. I mean, I do have it. It's not my favorite though, but I will do it if that's what you guys want. Trav, it's been a while, bud. Trav, hopefully you're taking a nice shower, nice and sudsy, right? If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. Scott says, if you're just getting into whiskey, just go with the Woodford's Double Oak neat. You can graduate and move on from there. That's the answer I should have gave, to be honest. Woodford's Double Oak was the one that kind of bridged the gap for me to get into whiskey, and that is a really solid pour as well. When you're first starting off too. I have my roulette glass. Trav says need a life update. Feels like it's been a minute. It has. I'm just disappointed you haven't been here in a while. AB says 1792. Ugh. I mean, I agree. It just kind of gives me like a dry. You all right? Gives me like a dry mouth feeling. The flavors are good. It just dries my palate out, so I just typically don't like it. I don't have the Green River 250 anniversary, but soon. I do have Green River Full Proof. He says just got out the shower. That's what we talking about. You know what I mean? So Trav, yeah, life update. I don't know, bud. There's so much stuff that's happened in my life. Like I don't know when the last time I've seen you. I've totaled the car. I broke ribs. We've went live. We've changed jobs. We've done all types of stuff. But I gave you shit. I messaged you going, where's my flight simulations? So I'm gonna lecture you. Where is it at, bud? That's what I need. Ooh, foolproof. Oh, North Florida said foolproof. Oh, he's talking about the 1792. Guys, last chance. What do you guys want to see me make an old fashioned with? If not, we're going to make it with a 1792 foolproof from North Florida's recommendation. Because it's the one I have out of the recommendation so far. Scott says, if the Buffalo Bills don't win the Super Bowl this year, I'm quitting NFL and I'm moving full time to college football. Good. Do it. Do it. Don't even watch football. Fuck the Bills. I was aggressive. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm a big Dolphins fan. So, Scott, if you're going to be here during the football season, I'm just going to let you know we're going to get rowdy. Where's Tux at when you need him, you know? He'd be on your side, but I'd give you shit still. Green River Foolproof? That would make a fantastic old-fashioned. You got the 10-year turkey? 10-year turkey? And I dodged like 17 hurricanes, basically. The tsunami missed me. I dodged the hurricanes. I'm fucking golden, baby. I don't, unless you mean the 8-year. The 10 years is the export, isn't it? No, I have the 8-year, the 101, and I have the 70th anniversary, which is also an 8-year. Ooh. Okay, JC, I like that. A creme brulee old fashioned. I have not. But I bet you that'd be fantastic. Northfly says, Bills suck. I would just quit now. How about the Tanager? I have done a Tanager old fashioned. There was a night during a live stream that I did like partial old fashions on the all the expensive ones. They're fantastic in old fashions, by the way. Really what I want, you know what I mean? But they're just, you try to keep those bottles as long as you can so you savor the flavor. But yeah, creme brulee would be gassy. Okay, so I think that would be different. You know, I haven't done that. I have done the other ones at least. But I've never done this, so I'd love to experience that. So I think that is a pretty good recommendation. And then after that, we're going to do the Fantasy Football League draft order. So again, if you guys haven't joined and you want to join, this is the last chance you got. So I'm closing it down after I make the old fashioned. Dropping the link. If you want to jump in. If you don't, it's okay. We're going to close it at 10. Winner gets championship ring and a year subscription to Blind Barrels. And it's fun. I like to talk shit. So, you know what I mean? It's fun. We do it every year. Man, it's been a minute since I made an old fashioned, I think. I'm like drawing blanks. Probably going to need to smoke it. Let's get a little smoker action. Now, because this is the first time I've made an old fashioned with this, it's going to be made with the old fashioned cocktail syrup. Also, fun facts. Penelope's coming out with their black walnut premix old fashioned. Can't wait to get that. Peach is okay. But this one's going to be way better, in my opinion. Raph says, have you had the Green River Foolproof weeded yet? No, I have not, but I'm looking for it. JC says, fun idea. 1/4 ounce pour of all your allocated whiskeys into an old fashioned. You know, JC, you're not wrong. That probably would be insane. We're not going to do that this stream. Only because I want to try that I want to try that earlier in the stream so I can really feel the effects, not just like a little buzz effects. You know what I mean? So if you're in early next stream, let's fucking do that. You know what I mean? Wood smoking options? I have tons of wood smoking options. I have regular oak. I have cherry. I have another regular oak. I have hickory. Where the fuck else do we have? Okay, apparently I don't have tons. Oh, I have walnut and I have apple. So apple, oak, and cherry and hickory. So yeah, you guys let me know. I think, in my opinion, probably oak or cherry. I mean, fucking shit, all of them would be good. Don't let me sit there. Miss Mabel says those Luxardo cherries are too expensive. I can't do it. Maraschino for me. I mean, I have multiple different kinds too, guys. Like I have the filthy cherries, the maraschino, the Woodfords, and I do have maraschino in the fridge too. But maraschino is not for the old fashioned stuff. The filthy black cherries is typically as cheap as I'm gonna go for the old fashions. Now I'm only gonna put like slightly less than a quarter ounce of syrup in here, just because the Penelope Architect is it's already sweet, so there's no reason to overload it. Walnut would be great with a creme brulee, Christian says. Okay, all right, let's do that. Cherry or regular sounds better to me than apple or hickory. I mean, the hickory felt like it probably wasn't gonna be a match. The apple I don't feel like is a match, but I like the walnut. Sounds like a good idea. Fun fact about this bottle. So I saw this. I saw this bottle once, and I passed on it. And then me and the wife went out for a date night for the first time since the kid was born. And then I was like, I got to pick up a bottle for that, right? We got to have something that correlates this, and that's what this is. The bottle I picked up. So I thought that was a fun, quick story time. The walnut's been really good with a lot, you know, because the oak part of it's still there. It's just the walnut's like slight. Not that I'm saying you're wrong, but the Frey Ranch is phenomenal in an old fashioned as well. Don't let me knock it, but I feel like the cherry wouldn't. I don't think the cherry would be as good because like I'm now trying to compete with sweetness level, so it would either be oak or the walnut. So I think the walnut should be okay, in my opinion. Let's change the chips out. Because we're also gonna do we're gonna do a Luxardo cherry for Miss Mabel, you know. Time for a refill. BRB AB. Go refill it. Let me know what you end up choosing. All right. So, sorry you couldn't see everything. My cameras are whacked out today. Let's pour a couple cubes of ice in here. I know it's not the circle ice like I'm supposed to. Blah, blah, blah. If you know, I'm never good with the ice. JC said, go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna test it first, and then we're gonna smoke it, and that way I can kind of grade it properly, you know. Give it the old college try first. All right, let's put this back. All right. So a Penelope Creme Brulee Old Fashioned. This is the Architect Private Build Series, 110 proof. Now, it's also one of my favorite Penelopes in general. I like the sweetness. I love all the little tasting notes on it. It's been fantastic, but does it old fashioned. Oh. maybe, but they're kind of small. That's phenomenal. I think I've had better old fashions though, in general. So I really probably wouldn't waste a bottle that kind of expensive on an old fashioned often. But I will say it kind of gives you a different level of like dessert bourbon. Ooh, somebody disliked the stream. Appreciate it as always, but you watch, so we appreciate you watching. Um, it's just a different level of like a dessert drink. Bro, it sounds like my upstairs neighbors are getting beat. Um, I mean, it's good, but I do think it needs to be smoked. I feel like that's the only level it's missing is like a little like edge to it, and usually smoking it will give it a little edge. So let's do that. And for this, I won't fuck up. I'm gonna put it right on camera for you boys, so you can see it. Oh my god, am I out of? Am I out of? It's not smoking that well. I don't know if I put enough chips. I mean, it's good enough. Someone disliked the stream. I know it happens. It's okay. There's somebody that watches every video and dislikes every video. One person every single time. They're quick to it too, which means I know they're subscribed. I know they watch it. It's okay. Just say hey. It's all right. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't bother me. TZZ says also like edging. What's up? I'm here for the people. I'm not gonna read that out loud, Miss Mabel, but that's fucking funny. Guys, if you're just now tuning in, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 10,000 eventually. We're not going to get there today, but when we do, I got to do something crazy for that. You know what I mean? Like it's got to be something insane. I'll probably put up a poll when we get like halfway, so that way I can like we'll figure out something like really obscene to do. I have a suspect, High Top. If he is the one disliking my stream, I watch his stream every time he goes live, every video, because he's the homie. If he's disliking my stream, I'll lose my shit. Do you a firearm man? That was a weird way to put that, but I mean, yes, of course, always. I think Mr. Lopez, no, Lopez is still fun. I don't care what anybody says about him, but he's been MIA. He's been busy and stuff like that. I still talk to him in the Discord sometimes. Draco says 20K shots for 20K subs. 20,000 shots for 20,000 subs. Okay, so like if that was a thing for 20,000. Okay, so I don't know if that's logically like physically possible, but like if I could have a bunch of people come over and we take combining 20,000 shots between everybody here and we just drink my entire collection and then my collection's gone, like that could be something we could do. But it can't just be me. I would 20,000 shots, you know what I mean? Like I'd fucking be shit faced. I'd be dead. It wouldn't even be shit faced. I'd be passed out on stream. Nope says you should just do some song reactions. I don't want to do that. Chad says hello, fellow bourbon lovers. Chad, welcome to stream, baby. JC says, my man, a personal defense. I get it. I'm here for it. Haven't tried Michter's toasted rye yet. No, I haven't. I like Michter's, but it's just never been on the pickup radar for some reason. I don't know why. That's just a me thing. Draco, I would talk about them for real, but YouTube just flagged me for talking about cigars. So I really don't want to get like another flag for talking about anything like that. So I'm going to politely decline. YouTube's been on a tear right now for everything firearms and cigars. So don't know why. 20K shots of Wawa of water, bro. I'll fucking take 20 shots of Wawa right now. Full Metal Chad says, "What's your thoughts on Buffalo Trace?" Full Metal Chad, I know you've been here before, bud. My thoughts is like I like Buffalo Trace. It's really nice, approachable, really great beginner whiskey for most people. If you're talking about Buffalo Trace as a brand, not just the Buffalo Trace bottle, I think they have a little bit of everything for everybody, which makes them really popular. Right? You have the budget whiskey, the benchmark stuff. Full Proof makes the best old fashions. Then you got a bunch of other cheap options as well to like draw people in. Buffalo Trace is like a staple name. It's good, it's sweet, it's light, it's approachable. And then you start getting more into the lineup here because that's what I have right here. Blanton's overrated. Stag's fantastic. E.H. Taylor at MSRP is one of the best. Eagle Rare is my favorite, but Weller is my special moment pour because that was the first bottle I got after my son was born. So that's why. North Florida says 1,000 people taking 20 shots. Nah, we gotta do 20 shots. I can do that. I do that every night. You know what I mean? So AB says, "What the hell cigars?" I know the Penelope cigar blend short that I did got flagged because it says cigar in the title. So anybody that makes content that's watching this, careful with the cigar stuff right now. Jeremy Sears, his channel got flagged as well or something. I don't know the exact. Don't me speak on him. But apparently, like he does cigar content, and like he's moving to Rumble. Hence why we're dual streaming on Rumble tonight to make sure, just in case we have a backup plan. North Florida says, "Try the Full Proof Mixers bourbon. It was amazing, and I will be looking for it." I mean, hell yeah! Then let me know. I'll come get a sample. Draco says, "Just tried my first bourbon, the Wild Turkey 101. I was expecting it to burn, but it didn't. Is there anything you suggest for beginner bourbon when I watch Bruzel?" So beginner bourbon for me, Wild Turkey 101 is fantastic, by the way. But Woodford's Double Oak is another really good one when you want to start getting into something a little bit more complex, a little bit more oaky. Pipe Dream 101 for Redwood Empire, really great entry point, really good price too. And then probably like a Still Austin as well. Like they're just straight up musician. The 90 something proofer, it's kind of cheaper, but it kind of gives you a good range. Those are some of my brands that I personally like, but at their starting points. JC says, "I don't want to try cigars. I got the first one in mind." He says, "I don't want to try cigars. I got my first one in mind, but I have the mindset that I don't want harm my health, but I also want to experience it. I'm torn." JC, I don't want to ever like recommend something that's going to harm you when you're not that sold on it. So if you don't want to, don't. Personally, like cigars are not like a daily thing or a weekly thing for me. It's more of like a moment thing. I want to drink it with, or just smoke cigars and drink whiskey with friends and have that experience be a full thing. I like cigars, but it's not like if you're not into it, like don't force it. You know what I mean? Like don't you don't have to be that person. But also if you smoke one cigar, it's not gonna like be the end of you at the same time. So Full Metal Chat says, "Nice collection. It's good to see you again, brother." You thought I didn't remember you. I know that. You thought I'd forget. Chad Johnson or John says, "Have you had the 4-grain barrel proof Penelope?" 4-grain barrel proof? No. I have almost everything else. I have Rio, Havana, Architect, Toasted, Barrel Strength, Rosé, Valencia, Weeded, a Creme Brulee, and the Cigar Blend, and the Peach Old Fashioned, but I don't have that one. How's the Penelope Cigar Blend? It's very high on my list. Miss Mabel, I did just make a short about it. It give you a quick breakdown. It's not for me. Some people are giving me shit about it too, and I was like, calm down. Like it is good, but it doesn't feel like it's a cigar blend to me. It feels like it's just like a cigar um, inspired whiskey because it's got like a lot of tobacco notes on it. To me, for a cigar blend, I wanted to enhance my cigar. I don't want it to compete with my cigar. So that's what I felt, right? It's good. It's not a bad pour. It's a little pricey, so I don't personally think I'm gonna ever recommend the bottle for somebody to go buy, but it's not bad. So it just depends on how much you really like your whiskey to taste like tobacco as you're smoking a cigar. Is the way I'd put that. John in the chat says Smoke Eye Hill barrel proof is also phenomenal. Very close to Stag Junior. Okay, we'll keep our eye out. Rare breed for beginners, yeah. But I recommended that. My brother like got pissed at me because he's like, that's too much. TZZ says you can't talk about cigars, but you gotta leave a disclaimer that you can talk about cigars, but you gotta leave a disclaimer that you are doing it for educational purposes. Also, pre-age restrictions. Your video helps, but that sucks for engagement. Yeah, I get it. I just don't know what's causing the issue because mine didn't have any of that stuff. It was just in the name and it got flagged. Like no joke. I literally posted the short. You'll go watch it. It says new Penelope's new cigar blend batch chapter 1. I think is what the title is, and it got flagged. And it's not getting flagged for monetization. It's getting flagged for restrictions, which means if I get 3, I'm done. The channel will get deleted. It passed, luckily, so there's no flag, so I'm back at square one. But if it ever got flagged 3 times, this channel would be gone. So that's why I was saying, just be careful because I don't know what's causing it. Scott says, for beginners, just buy the entire Whiskey Row lineup. It's got a little bit of everything. It tries. It's all fantastic. Okay. If you want to just buy me the entire lineup, Scott, I'm here for it. AB says, but they show breastfeeding vids for educational purpose. Sure, bud. They are educational. Draco says also, do you ever have a phase of just like not liking the taste of alcohol in general? Because I want to learn how to smell and taste without using chasers and something. I'm really behind on chat, guys, just so you guys know. So I'll catch up eventually. Yes, I have a full video on like how to taste whiskey. In the beginning, like it's just easiest to say like when you're new to whiskey and bourbon and you're trying to get into it, it's not as easy as people make it seem. You know, it's hard to get tasting notes. Your mouth and your nose is not used to drinking something, especially high proof stuff. That's why you want to start with low proof whiskey and work your way in. If you like it, don't force yourself because it's not going to work. But there's a whole video on tips and tricks on how I like taste the whiskey, and I'll probably update that soon. But the easiest thing is start with low proof and do it slowly. There's no magic. You know, you'll hear me a million times during live streams, especially when they're long. I'll say my nose is blown out. That's because my nose stops working. My nose has never been great since COVID. But it gets stuffed up as I smell, like kind of smell whiskey in a sense. And it's just one of those things that my palate's great. My nose is dog water. So Miss Mabel says, what cigar blend should we buy? Still awesome. Tanger. Then send it to me. Or I hear Magnus cigar blend. I haven't had it, but I imagine that's good. The Penelope's not bad. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to knock it. It's just not. It's like $70, $80 for something that doesn't really pair that great with a cigar to me. Chad says it was referring to the toasted 4-grain. My bad. North Florida says short barrels sells online, some states. Okay. Miss Mabel says sips it like a very hot coffee. Changed my life. So whiskey in general, when you're kind of like sipping it, some people think a little small sip is not going to work. It kind of works for me. Like small sip, then medium sip, then long sip. Like if you got to do it in order so that we can get that full experience. The first sip, regardless of what you're doing, if you're new to it, it's going to shock your palate. It's going to poof. You're going to be like, what the fuck am I drinking? Right? Second sip, make it a little bit bigger. Let it coat the palate. Try your best. Third sip is when like you're gonna start tasting stuff. Like for me, if I started the night with high proof, jumped right in, I'd be like, "What the fuck is that?" Like you'll see, I do it all the time. So it's just one of those things. So practice makes perfect. Not that I suggest anybody practice drinking whiskey. Draco Scott says Draco. Most people I know didn't start drinking whiskey until they were in their 30s. Damn, Scott, you gonna call me out like that? No, I started drinking whiskey when I was 21. It's one of my favorite drinks, usually ever. Back when I was like 21 to 25, I was drinking for effect. I would drink whatever. So, but whiskey was a big part of that, right? As I slowly got older, I started appreciating more of like the history and the art that goes into these bottles. That's what I like the most. I was like, if you called my mom up and said, "Hey, what's his best grade? What class did he ace?" It was always history. I just love the history. I love the science of it. So to me, it's natural to just kind of nerd out on whiskey because I've always liked drinking, but I started liking whiskey because I wanted to find the best old fashioned. Hence, the channel is called "Call Me Old Fashioned." Now I've kind of graduated from that to finding just good whiskey in general. But even now, like we're still drinking old fashions with expensive whiskey because I want to find the best old fashioned. So Draco says, "Well, it's not that I haven't drank. I love vodka and all them hood drinks. Everyone drinks the Henny, Patron, Don, but just want to get really into it. Um, I don't think drinking any of those are really going to get you into drinking alcohol in general. Those are good drinks in general, but those are just like fun party drinks. Whiskey is like you want to drink it slow. You're not drinking for effect. You're drinking to try and taste what's in there. It's a little bit like slower process. But I mean, if you want to, by all means. The video I'm talking about, I'll pull it up and I'll drop it in the chat, I guess. It's a good video, in my opinion, but it's biased because I made it. But it goes over tips of how to taste whiskey, right? And what's up, guys? Welcome back. Holy shit, I can hear myself. I hate that. Oh my god, my room looks so crazy. That was a while ago. How long was that ago? Over a year? I gotta update that video. I'm gonna drop that in the chat. You can just save it for later. It goes over like what I was doing a year ago to taste whiskey. So El Diablo. Every time I see your name, bud, I know because you've been in here a million times. I always think of those hot sauce packets from Taco Bell. It says, just saw the Penelope Architect about an hour ago. This is the Architect creme brulee flavor. The Architect's great, but the creme brulee is better. Is it good? Yeah, it's phenomenal. This is by far my favorite Penelope I've ever tried. But I like it a little bit sweeter. I like the dessert pours, so. Draco says, tequila is just straight up nasty every time I drink it. I hate every decision I made. I mean, the decision makes are you. The tequila, though, is like, depends on what you're drinking. I mean, I used to drink Patron and stuff like that during COVID. Me and the wife would sit there and play Mario Party and fucking drink all night. Maybe she's awake. We'll go play Mario Party and drink. We got to do the draft order here soon, and then maybe we'll end it. All right, let's check one more time before I close it down. Christian just tipped 140. Or Jesus Christ, I just almost did it again. I have a habit of doing that. 4.99 super chat just says, "What was the 3 bottles that got you into bourbon on?" 3 bottles. Okay. Oh fuck, that's hard. 3 bottles. Let me pull that over real quick. All right, let's start with the very first thing, right? Like bourbon and whiskey vibes that really like said, "Hey, like we're here." The first thing would be a combination of a couple. I don't count these as individuals, by the way, because I didn't know what I was doing. So Angel's Envy, Knob Creek 9-year, and regular Woodfords, right? All 3 of those were like, wow, okay, these are different. And Elijah Craig is all in that category, right? And I was like, okay, cool. Similar proof, different flavors. And I was like, wow, okay, there could be something different, but I wasn't really sold on it yet. I just thought it was the name and the bottle shape, to be honest. Then I moved into Woodford's Double Oak. And Woodford's Double Oak changed my entire outlook on everything. I said, holy shit, this is next level. I really started to go, this is all I want to drink. And we drank it for a while, and my buddy wasn't super sold on it. Give me 1 second. But Woodford's Double Oak was like the one that really sent it off, right? And then I believe from Woodford's Double Oak, I went to like the, what did I go from? The Michter's. I went to the Michter's after the Woodfords, and I was like, okay, this got a lot more spice. This is different from the other ones that I've had. And to me, like the correlation really was like, can a whiskey really be that different? And when I started seeing the differences in the whiskey is what really sent me on a journey to be like, what is the best whiskey? How far can we go? What's the best old fashioned? Right? Because to me, I would drink the whiskey. I liked it neat, granted, but I really liked it in an old fashioned. I liked the cocktail version. So I was trying to find the best old fashioned, me and my buddy at the time. So it just really went from there, and that's when you kind of like see the very first video I ever made. It's really bad. If you want to watch it, it's still up. But I bought Russell's 10, Michter's, Old Granddad. I bought Evan Williams Bond and Bond. I bought these things that I've had before in the past, but never looked at properly. And the Russell's 10 as well is kind of right there with the Michter's. You drink those next to each other, and you go, "Holy shit, these are so different than each other." And that's really what made me go, I want to go down this rabbit hole, basically. Sorry to hear that about your grandma, Draco, but 2-3 times a day would be aggressive. Take a week between each bottle. I typically try to limit myself to 1 to 2 times a week. I drink on Fridays, I drink on Saturdays. I'm kind of older and I work, so I got to make sure I'm okay with like my normal, um, you know, I got to be able to go to work. But Fridays I like to drink. I like to drink on Saturdays, but I don't want to drink on Sundays. And I'll drink every once in a while during the week, typically during sporting events, but I try to really limit it. And that's what you're tasting whiskey as well. It's really about controlling it too. So, Christian says, sorry about my typing. It's terrible. 3 bottles that got you into bourbon. I get it. I got you. I was there. Norfolk says, Russell's 10, Heaven Hill, Bottom to Bond, Still Austin, New Rift, kind of sparked the interest. Those are all great bottles that all could spark an interest too. Jack Daniels Bonded series also. Again, great pours. Miss Mabel says, Russell's 10 was one of mine too. A 4 Roses small batch and a barrel vintage. Vintage, yeah. JC says 3 bottles that got me going was Elijah Craig's small batch. Old Granddad 114. What made me realize I preference rice was a still Austin artist. That's a fantastic answer right there. That's like getting you in and then going, okay, here we go, and then you switch and you go, all right, I found what I like. Ms. Mabel says those are the 3 that make me only buy bourbon now. That's hilarious. All right, let's see. So, what we're gonna do now is, this is part of just like my normal channel stuff. I'm gonna start pulling up the fantasy football stuff, and we're gonna do the draft order. I'm gonna close it at 10, so it looks like nobody else has joined. So that is a-okay. So it looks like we have hold. I'm gonna read the notes. So the fantasy football league. Again, who's in for the championship ring and the year subscription to Blind Barrel is going to be Hold My Vic, Smoke and Bourbon Blitz, Godfather, We Taking ACLs, Ride the Lightning all the way to losing to the Panthers, Miss Call Me Old Fashioned, Maybe This Year, Hawk Tua Tagovailoa, and G Money Makers, and of course myself makes 10. So we'll close it at 10. It's not a big deal. And let's do the, I'm going to do the draft order here in a second. So we're going to do a duck race. I have the names loaded up, and we're going to do a duck race to figure out who picks what. Nicholas says, how do you do a tequila sour, or do you only do bourbon only? Mainly bourbon only. I can make a margarita, but not a tequila sour. JC says, I drink a pour almost every day. Nowhere near getting drunk or tipsy or buzzed. I could drive without issues, probably, but I ain't going to find out. I drink as often as I do because I enjoy the flavor. I agree with that. Like, there's some days where I literally just pour like a sip because I just want to taste it. I want a little fancy, little tasty taste, right? But for me personally, I just want to relax with my pours. If I have something new, I drink it like very scientifically. But when I just have what's on the shelf, I just try to relax, have fun. North Florida says he got his money on Call Me Old Fashioned. I appreciate that, bud. No, I do too. Christian says mine were 1, Penelope 4 grain, 2, Angel's Envy, and 3, Eagle Rare. I didn't get Eagle Rare like pretty far into my journey, so but I believe if I had that early, I would. Angel's Envy was like one of those ones that made me go, well, this is different, and I didn't know why at the time, and I didn't know I could look it up. Penelope 4 grain really wasn't a thing when I was drinking early on. I never saw Penelope anything, so maybe that's like trying to make me feel old or something, but let me get the duck race loaded up. I'm going to do a 2-minute duck race because why the fuck not? So, again, what we're about to do is the duck race for the Fantasy Football League. Right now we have 10 players. And then we're going to figure out what our draft order is. So when anybody comes in here and go, oh, I didn't see it, just know you guys got to witness this. Nebula says, what the fuck, you look like AI on my screen. You're welcome. I mean, I'm going to take that as a compliment, but I'm not a robot. I'm kidding. JC says, half ounce and we chill. Also, I blame Call Me Old Fashioned. Whenever he streams, I got to have a pour while chatting. I joke, of course. No, I mean, to be honest, I hope that's why I go live on Fridays, because hopefully most people's work weeks have ended. Most, not all. I get people work weekends, but hopefully they can find a little bit of relaxation where they can just hang out, chat with really fun people in the chat, have a pour, and just kind of unwind. You know, me, I used to like going to the bars and stuff like that on the weekends, and it was fun at the time. But as I get older, I realize it's cheaper and a lot more fun just to hang at home. So, cheers to you guys. North Florida says, I can validate. I've seen that beard in person. He has. Not as long. This is as long as it's been a long, long time. So, Art says, "What's the drink right now?" I have an old fashioned Penelope Architect Creme Brulee. Probably going to do another pour here in a second, and then we're going to do a duck race, a little ducky race. All right. What should we pour up for this? I feel like we should pour up something good. Let's do All right, you guys let me know. It's out of the it's Art says I got married. I'm married. I got my backyard. What are we talking about, Art? That kind of threw me off. You got married in your backyard, or you got married and now you have a backyard? I mean, congrats on either one. I'm glad you're married, and I'm glad you have a backyard. Is bourbon hunting in Florida a waste of time? Not necessarily, but um, you really got to know people because you're not going to walk in and just find amazing things. You'll find a couple good things here and there, and sometimes it's better than other states just in like their basic stuff. But like the allocated stuff, yeah, I don't find a lot. His JC says beard start this curl like Santa Claus, bro. I straighten my beard. I don't give a shit. I straighten it. I put a lot of product in. JC says when was the last time you did EH Taylor? Um, it's been a minute. Let's do some EH Taylor then. It's been a while. It's just because it's low. That's why, and I've been trying to keep that bottle there because I haven't. The EH Taylor is getting a little bit more accessible, but it's just kind of harder to find around here because people buy it up pretty quick, and I'm not quick to the stores. Fourth Horseman says I've tried a dozen whiskeys, and I've always come back to Jack Daniel's. It's the best whiskey for the price, in my opinion. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye is phenomenal. If you guys are big fans of that bottle, you want to watch the video that's going to come out on Monday. Christian says, bro, I love Friday Night Lives. It gives me time to chill with the wife and kids before I fall asleep. Plus, I get to chill out and get behind the... Plus, I get to chill out getting behind the wheel. Bro, Christian, you're not drinking and driving, right? Or like you drive and now you get to chill. I'm going to go with that. El Diablo says, okay, I'm headed to Phoenix in a couple weeks, and I need to keep an eye out for anything. Keep an eye out anything for you? For me? No. I'm okay. I've been really trying, like the reason why I haven't bought a bunch of bottles lately is because I'm just trying to save up some money. Kind of, really the best time for whiskey is October, November, December. That's the mecca for buying whiskey. You know, and so I'm just trying to make sure I'm prepared for that, not just blow it all on everything now. Chad said a unique bottle that took time for me to appreciate was Barrel Seagrass. I love the Seagrass. I've had a sample. I don't own one, but I love that one. Four Horsemen says, have you ever had Branton whiskey? Is it worth the high price? No. I don't even know what that is. Branton? You mean Blanton's? Branton? But Branton whiskey? Fuck me, bro. Blanton's? Blanton's is not worth the money. It's good. It's good. If you can get it for like normal, standard MSRP, it's fantastic. Anything more than like 70, 80 bucks, not worth it. Okay, he's like, yeah, I meant to chill without getting behind the wheel. Yeah, Christian, I agree with that. Give you time to just relax. Blanton's? Yeah. That's what I heard. All right, let me pour up one pour of this, and let's do that little duck race for the draft order. How long have we been live? About almost 2 hours? That's good enough for me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is that time of the night. Boom. Alright, I need to set this up properly. Oh, stupid phone. There we go. All right, cool. Let's do a duck race. All right, I already have the lists in here. We're going to do a 2-minute timer. See if I can pull over the comments. All right, just a recap. Names on the list. Me, G Moneymakers, Hawk to a Tug of Ialoa, maybe this year. Miss Call Me Old Fashioned, Ride the Lightning, We Taking ACLs, The Godfather, Smoking Bourbon Blitz, and Hold My Vic. Done. All right. How the fuck you hit start on this thing? Set. All right. Can I see what I got? Okay, it looks like I have a basic duck. Ride the Lightning's right next to me with a little dinosaur duck. Godfather, basic duck. Bourbon Blitz got a little George Washington. Hold My Vic's got a little hat. Miss Call Me Old Fashioned with the basic duck as well. It's just not looking good for me, you know what I mean? It's always the creative ducks that win. So this is going to do the draft order for the Fantasy Football League. Just so you guys know. North Florida saying, let's go. All right, you ready? Let me get some fancy music going real quick. Oh, wait. That's not... Did my camera just die? Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me fix the camera real quick. All right. Camera's coming back on. All right, let's do this thing. Bryson says, "What are you doing?" I'm hanging out. I'm doing the fantasy draft order. Is what I'm about to do. I'm closing the draft out. I tried to let everybody in as much as I could. Either people joined or they didn't. I can't control that part. But fantasy draft order now. We got a 10-person league. Winner's going to get a championship ring, plus a year subscription to Blind Barrels if they deliver to where they're at. Must be 11:30 if the battery is. Yeah, you're right, buddy. All right, let's go ahead and start this. Music's playing. 2-minute timer on the clock. And we're off. I'm not gonna commentate until like the last minute or so, because I'm falling behind. I'm falling behind. I'm falling way behind. I really don't want last. I don't want first, but I don't want last. Miss Call Me Old Fashioned taking an early lead. Hawk to a Toga by Low is going out. I told you I wasn't gonna commentate. My bad. Come on, bud. I gotta make a run sometime. Get the fuck up there. Guys, if I get first, I'm just saying, my hand's off the wheels here. You saw, I saw. If I get first or something like that, that's on the computer, not me. It stands. One shot, everybody knows the rules here. Oh, I'm making a comeback. It's too early. It's too early. I'm going to fall behind. Godfather's taking a little lead. Hold My Vic's coming out of nowhere. Hawk to a Tug of Low, kind of bumping up. G Moneymakers kind of making a little wave. Hold My Vic's taking an early lead. We got about 45 seconds left in the fucking duck race. G Money Makers just make his way to the front. Bourbon Blitz is also saying, hold my George Washington. I want up there. And we got time, boys. We got time. 30 seconds left. If you're in the fantasy league, this matters. If you're not, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. Next year, you can be in the fantasy league. Oh, we're all kind of going back to even. Who's going to take it? Who's going to take it? We got 13, 12 seconds left. Okay, I'm making a little run. Come on, baby. Get up there. Oh, Miss Call Me Old Fashioned. Don't let her get early. Don't let her get early. She's going to get first, isn't she? Motherfucking bitch. Miss Call Me Old Fashioned with the first. No fucking way, bro. Bro, beginner's luck at its finest. Miss Call Me Old Fashioned got first in the draft. I got fourth. I'm not mad at it. Ride the Lightning with a granted 10th place pick. Okay. So here's the list. Just so everybody can see. Smoking Bourbon Blitz. I know you're watching. You got 9th pick. So here is the draft order. I'm going to copy and paste this thing. So oh my God, where'd it go? Hold on. Okay, I have it. Let me get off here. I don't want to mess it up now. So I have first is Miss Call Me Old Fashioned. The Godfather is second. G Money Makers is third. You got yours truly at 4th place. You got Hot Tua Tagovailoa at 5th. Hold My Vic at 6th place. 7th place is Maybe This Year. And then you have We Taking ACLs at 8th. Smoking Bourbon Blitz at 9th. And 10th place is Ride the Lightning. So, that is the draft order. Jacob says, can't watch. Want to say hi to everyone in the stream. Jacob, I appreciate you stopping by, bud. As always. We don't get too much longer. You know what I mean? But that I just want to do the draft order tonight because we're going to go with 10. JC says, I believe in EH. Bro, she won last year. She's had her fucking time. North Florida says, what the hell? To be honest, like people can take it for what it was. 4th place is not bad, but Ride the Lightning honestly has a perfect spot. I like the last place because he's gonna have 2 back to back. What did Greg get? I'm gonna post it in the fantasy league chat, but just to reiterate the chat, it's Miss Call Me Old Fashioned gets first pick in the draft, then the Godfather at 2nd. 3rd place is G Money Makers, aka Greg. 4th is me. I believe I got 4th last year too. I'm not pumped about 4th place. I feel like I'm too far in the middle. Hawk Tua Tagovailoa at 5th place. Hold My Vic at 6th place. Maybe This Year, which is aka iRock. 8th place is We Taking ACLs. 9th place is Smoking Bourbon Blitz. And 10th place is Ride the Lightning. North Florida says, lucky number 9. Let's go. Winning champ now, baby. 9th place is not a bad spot, to be honest. Like, because the first round's kind of like a whatever, but you get the 2nd pick in the 2nd round. So it's a blessing in disguise. So, JC said, let's go. I called it, bro. Hey, next time fucking root for me, bud. What are we doing? So, again, guys, appreciate everybody that joined the Fantasy League. Gonna have a lot of fun this year. I'm gonna do some other giveaways as well, maybe some merch. I haven't really promoted the merch store. We do have one now, but granted, we're gonna wheel that out slowly. I haven't promoted it. I'm not wearing it, but maybe during the fantasy league we test out a couple things, giveaway. If somebody beats me, maybe we give away merch or something. But who knows? Only time will tell. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then we're gonna come back and do one more pour. Nobody wins on draft day. Everybody wins on draft day. I win on draft day. What do you mean? All right, give me 5 minutes, 2 minutes. I'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are back. Christian says, "What's everybody sipping on?" JC says, "Bruh, just remembered I never got that shirt." You never did. I don't know why, but I remember you saying that. I got some new ones though, so maybe not the same shirt, but a new shirt can come your way. JC says, "Christian, I'm done for tonight, but I had 2 pours of Driftless Glen Bourbon Pick. I purchased very nice cold climate from." Chris says, "I'm killing a bottle of Wild Turkey 101 8 year. I have to pick up a bottle of Driftless. My local store has a couple of their older bottles, bottle designs." Okay, hell yeah. Ah, fuck it, damn it. Let's do one last pour. I'm gonna do the 8 year. Let's put that back. As we kind of close out the stream, Davey says, "You look like you do good. Do good barbecue." I mean, I do all right. Kay Norwick says, "Damn, love the backdrop. I appreciate it as always. I made it myself, designed it myself. It's a big plus. I appreciate it." So I'll buy one if you get a good chunk of the proceeds. I get an okay amount. Most of the stuff I don't really make a lot of money from. I try to do it at cost so that way you guys can, kind of get it for what I have to pay for it. Norfolk says, "Best production in whiskey tube." I try. I try. I'll try harder though. Holy shit. That had a lot more bite than the other pours that I've had tonight. Just want to Throw that out there. Liz says, North Florida, I agree. Ladies and gentlemen, we got our second dislike of the stream. Guys, just so you know, if you dislike the stream, it's just as good as liking it. So we appreciate you stopping by. So tonight, we're probably going to end the stream here in a second. Why is that not focusing? There we go. So make sure you stay tuned. We got videos dropping on Monday. It's already pre-scheduled out. We have a couple shorts, debating on seeing if we're going to drop 2 long-form videos a week. But every Monday, we should have at least a long-form video coming out. And then, of course, some short stuff. And then Friday's live streams, as always. JC says, I do appreciate that. Call me old-fashioned. I mean, I try. I'm not trying to make a bunch of money, but I do know that, like, you know, shirts can be cool. I have some cool designs on there. I did create all the designs myself, especially the Glen one. That one's my favorite, especially the hoodie. Kay says, I'll cancel it with my like. Appreciate it. Wait, dislike? Yeah, we got 2, bro. We got 2. Somebody must not like what I was drinking. I mean, it happens. Nobody get mad over it. It's okay. We're going to survive. I promise you that. So, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream tonight. We're about 2 hours in. Appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate all the support. Make sure if you're in the fantasy league, just remember you're about to get spanked, as always. And of course, as always, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, subscribe, do all that jazz. And I will see you next Friday. Peace.